Hello, Glee fans. This is Shamus Kelley, senior editor of the Towerlight, and I'm joined by
Beall, video producer of the Towerlight.
And today we are talking about Glee, season 3, episode whatever, Prom-asaurus. I specifically brought in Ashley today because we had a bit of we were talking about the episode after it aired on Facebook, and we had very different feelings about it. So I thought it'd be good to get like a contrasting thing, because some of you guys are always very angry at me sometimes about my opinions, so I'm always interested to get another viewpoint in here, as it were. Is there any overriding thoughts you had about the episode? Because you said you liked it.
I really liked it.
I really didn't. I was really bored. I was waiting for something to happen, and nothing did. I was very sad with this episode. Glee is just very disappointing as of late.
To you, maybe.
To me. Yeah, well, you know, I
Actually, no, it's disappointing all the time. I just thought this episode was kind of stand out, that it wasn't disappointing.
So let's talk about our main point of contention, which was Rachel is the worst.
Rachel was awesome in this episode.
No, Rachel is terrible.
How, though? How? Tell me.
Well, Rachel is the worst simply because she's so whiny. Like, okay, yeah, she blew her whole audition, but even she says, well, that's what you get for not having a backup. I'm like, yeah, you didn't. Where?
Okay, first of all, that was an internal monologue. We can't count that as whiny when she never said anything to anybody. She said, like, that was her learning a lesson as an internal monologue.
Yeah, no, but not only that, she's all like, Finn, why are you gonna try and dance with Quinn at the prom? And Finn's like, dude, man.
Those are some
chill
legit
out.
concerns. He's cheated on her with her before. They were together when they first got together.
Well, it's not only that, like, Rachel gives up at everything. Like, she's like, oh no, one thing messed up, my whole life is ruined. Buck up, girl, and figure it out.
It's called being a drama queen. That's her character.
Yeah, well, I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that drama queenie shit. Like, it's annoying.
It can be a little annoying, but it's her character. At least it's her character.
Yeah, I know
people.
I know people like Rachel in real life. I mean, Rachel is basically those people turned up to like a 12. But
it only goes to 11.
Well, it's really hot. Because she's such like a caricature. Mm-hmm. And not only that, okay. Let's also put it this way. She's like, oh my god, I haven't done anything in my life. I don't have a backup for anything. And then she gets to win at the end of the episode by getting crowned the prom queen. That was so dumb.
First of all, I didn't really see it as winning because she didn't expect it at all. She didn't go for it. It wasn't a thing. Like, that was never her territory.
Then she shouldn't have won.
She got it because it was kind of her friends going, you're also in a rough spot right now.
Which was very vague. Like, I think it was the intention for that to be that way.
I thought it was really obvious that Santana and Quinn
made it happen.
Yeah, made it happen.
Which once is totally unethical, but whatever.
Yeah, I
but,
mean.
Oh my god, it was just so. Oh shoot, I can't get over. Like, honestly, Quinn needed this more than Rachel, I would say. Quinn has had so much crap happen to her in like her 3 years at school. Like, she's been thrown out of her house, and she said she's been hit by a car, and she's gone through like basically a mental breakdown. Like, but she's like persevered through all of it, and for some reason this episode she decided to be like crazy, whiny, awful too.
Yeah, I did not like Quinn in this episode at all.
Yeah, like, what happened to all her character development? Where like right before she got hit by the car, she was awesome, and then they decided to make her like really whiny and angry, which really
texting while walking.
Yeah, that really, you know, Glee, like, the more I think about last week's episode, the more like I don't like it. Like, last week's episode
I have a theory that Glee's episodes are related to how stupid their titles are for that episode.
So this episode title was really dumb.
Saturday Night Gleever.
Which was probably one of the worst episodes of Glee.
Which makes me really scared for their graduation. Gleeduation? Isn't that what it's gonna be called?
That sounds like ejaculation. What the fuck is that?
Well,
like,
nude directions or nude erections.
Nude.
I mean.
Oh, that's awkward. No, Glee, you're not clever. Stop it. Oh my god, writers. I'm sure you're just in like the writers' room thinking about how great you are, but you're really not. Now let's actually get to more of the meat of the episode.
Besides Rachel.
Let's talk about Becky. Becky was a big part of this episode.
Mixed feelings.
I see what they're trying to do. To show that somebody who's like, you know, handicapped or disabled or whatever can still like be like a bitch, I guess.
They're trying to show that she is a person like everybody else. People have flaws. Just because you're disabled doesn't mean you're gonna be like the best person in the world. They don't have to paint them in that light. They're not like making fun of her, which is good, but they're showing that she can, you know, have character development too and stuff. But
I thought they took it a little too far.
Yeah.
Like, she was a little too, I don't know the word to put it. It's like over the top, I guess.
And I think what made it was, like, she wasn't like that when they first introduced the character.
Yeah, they just made her, they just decided that this week she was going to be, like, really off-putting and weird. Like, not weird, just, she wasn't acting in character, I guess is the way to put it. She was, like, super, super angry, and Sue was actually nice this week, which is, you know, it varies from week to week.
Rather oblivious.
Very oblivious, which is... They can never decide about that character. Oh, and Coach Beast isn't here. We don't get any follow-up. I'm so shocked. Later. So, but also one of the big things at the beginning of the episode is that Brittany has done nothing as the president of senior class. Now, some would say this is good writing because they remembered that she was president of senior class. I think they just forgot and then remembered and then wrote that in as like a cover-up for them forgetting.
Yeah,
especially because it was such like a big plot point that they just got rid of.
There was like 3-4 episodes building up to senior president, and then...
And honestly, though, who gets elected senior president in the year of, like, senior president?
Nobody. Unless you're freshman.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Yeah, like, you don't get elected that.
But let's be honest. How do you have, like, votes to be nominated to be queen?
Yeah, it's more like you get the
nominated,
most vote. Yeah.
And then you vote. Like, they had, like, 2 voting systems. I did not understand it.
Yeah, and once again, and this was another point we brought up, apparently everybody hates Glee Club. It's established that nobody likes them. But once again, like half the prom court or whatever is Glee Club. Really weird. Not a fan of that at all.
And they get to sing at prom, and everybody's cool with it.
Well, there have been other points where they sang. There was even like the 2nd or 3rd episode where they sang like the one song, and the school was like, "Yeah!" This has happened a couple times on the show.
But then they go to their classes and try to sing, like with Christmas, and they get shoes thrown at them. Like, you'd rather learn?
Consistency. Dude, most kids I know would just be like, whatever, don't have to learn today.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything right now.
So, but honestly, like that's just like a symptom of the Glee problems.
Yeah, but that's not this episode, so.
Well, it was odd. Now the Brittany with the senior class thing, like I thought the scene with her and the prom committee was interesting.
I liked it. I liked the way they set it up. But are they gonna bring those characters back?
No, they're not.
They seemed interesting, especially the one girl that was apparently like Rachel. She had like, this look on her face like revenge.
Even though she looked like she was 30. Like no high schooler has that many wrinkles on their face. Nobody.
Listen, we go to the tanning salon a lot, and she was not tan, so.
That's true, but once again, not a big deal with that. My next one, oh well, okay.
We can skip it.
Well, no, I have a list that is Rachel is the worst. Rachel is a bitch. Like those were my notes. And also, like we mentioned earlier, Quinn just felt all off. She was like being like super like manipulative and like bitchy. Yeah. Like, what happened to the girl who's like, I don't need no man?
Do you have Finn in here at all?
You know, I didn't, but he was being a little bit of a jerk too.
No.
No?
He was. This is like he's a jerk a lot, but he was really good this episode.
No, what was with that shit where he's like, yeah, man, stand up. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay. Finn was going through a little bit of a crisis where everything was turning back into how it started, how it all started.
That was not stated very well, and
no,
I don't believe the Glee writers were trying to be subtle about that, because I don't believe the Glee writers know about subtlety, except occasionally they do, but we'll get to that in a bit. But Finn was like, he was just like a jerk to her. And even he admitted, it's like, yeah, man, she said she's been having some problems. Like, I'm just trying to be your friend. And then, he was nice in that first scene with that.
Yeah, he was
good. But then, he's all, like, calling her out in, like, the middle of prom. I'm like, stop that, please.
Because he stood up for her and found out that she was lying about it.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
I wasn't sure so much if she could actually walk, or she just didn't want to do it, because she didn't seem like she could do it very well.
No, she didn't seem like she could do it very well, but at the same time she could
like
walk. She'd been pulling it off like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna walk again, and that's like, a little ridiculous.
What I got from it was, she just wanted, like Finn was accusing her like she could just walk like it was normal, and that wasn't the case. Like, oh, and her and Dreadlock Boy, I don't think they have a thing anymore. I think they're just friends. Like they weren't hitting at their romance at all, which I was
still so cute.
He was all right. Like I'm kind of okay with Dreadlock Boy.
Can we just call him Tarzan?
I like him better than Rory, because Rory doesn't have a personality.
Where did he go for like 3 weeks?
I mean, he was there tonight. Yeah. He was singing.
He was part of New Directions, or One Direction, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
One Direction.
What about it?
That's that boy band.
Yeah.
They did a song by them. New Direction did a song by One Direction.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Because the names are so similar.
Oh. I think they just.
That song makes you beautiful.
All right, but what else was there? Tina said a line. She was like,
was
"Oh,
it
No, yeah, no. There was that scene where her and Mike Chang walked in, and I thought she was gonna say something, but just Mike Chang said a thing. That was really awkward and really off. I was really into but yeah, she said like one line. She's like, I don't want this ever to end. It's like, yeah, I'd like to know why you don't. Like, why are you so attached to this? Oh, we just have to assume things. Yeah, okay, Glee. Thank you.
I think she's supposed, like, at this point, she's basically the average Glee watcher.
She's just like, okay, cool. I'm just kind of here, which is really sad. Let's also talk about all the gay in this episode.
You mean Blaine and Kurt?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, Blaine was acting a little pouty. Like he's like, I just want to have gel in my hair. I'm like, at least they talked about that last week. Like the whole like gel thing, which I think the writers like actually, at least they're getting to the point where they can write about it in an episode beforehand, you know?
Yeah.
But okay, everything with Blaine was adorable though. Like he was acting a little more pouty than I think he normally would. Like he was acting a little more stereotypically gay, but I was kind of okay with it because it was just like he was just like. Murr.
He was adorable.
And then the scene where he actually has his normal hair, even though we technically have seen it in the show before already. It does. Honestly, I'm totally fine with that because it was adorable. Because isn't that his actual hair in like real life?
Yeah, pretty much like Harry Potter when he had like the crazy hair and the glasses.
Star Kid. Now the other thing. Now there was one moment that I really enjoyed, which was that moment with like Sam and Mercedes. I guess they're dating now. I'm not
sure what's up with them at all. It's not making it clear, Glee.
But they had that moment with her old boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, yeah.
And they were just like. Head nod. And I was like, that's subtle and nice.
And realistic.
Yeah, they're not all like, why is he dancing with somebody? He was just like, okay, that happens.
Now Glee is going to ruin this by having him angry later for some reason.
Probably. He's probably going to be like, I'm like, you know, there was so much potential with that other boyfriend character.
Yeah. He was really good at his part, too.
Yeah, but then Sam came back, so they decided, just no. But here's the other thing, and one of the, and I'll get to this is let's see, what else do I have? No, let's compare like last season they did a prom episode, which I think was infinitely better than this.
Yeah.
Because that episode was built up to like everything that happened with Karofsky and all of like the different relationships going on.
Yeah.
Those were all like the build up was so much better, and this prom just kind of happened. It's like the writers realized,
it's prom season. They like saw an ad in the paper.
We should do a prom episode. Yeah.
And that Kesha song that's like 3 years old.
I'm not really sure why it was just.
Because it had dinosaur in it.
It had a dinosaur in it, which they.
That was the only song they used that had anything to do with the dinosaur.
Well, they were playing one in the background, but they should have sang that one. I don't remember the name of it, but
really?
Yeah. But in comparison to like, I think I gave like the prom episode from last year like an A, and this episode is not going to get an A.
No,
like,
I wouldn't even give it an A.
Like I just all the greats, and also another thing, and this is a problem that Glee's had up as of late. We even see random couples we don't know that are straight making out, like nothing. Gays barely even get to like hug. They're just kind of dancing.
Wasn't there like a deleted scene of like a neck kiss with Blaine and Kurt?
Was there?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about that.
I feel like they delete a lot of the scenes.
There was a scene on like in the Christmas episode apparently of there's one where Santana was singing, and then there's one of like Blaine or Kurt giving each other like a promise ring or something that they deleted, which I'm like, why would you do that? Cut out like that Christmas episode was so padded anyway. Like you could have cut some stuff out. That was really bad, really bad. But then, what else was there to talk about with this episode? I liked Puck in this episode. He was really adorable.
He's so like I think did they fail him so he could be back another season? Is that it?
I don't know what they're doing with that.
I feel like he's gonna be back another year.
With that I'd be kind of fine with it because he was actually good in this episode.
Yeah.
And it was cute. And
isn't he like the oldest cast member?
I think Finn is the oldest cast member. I think Finn's like 30.
I thought Puck was like 30 something.
Yeah, I think he might be too. And no Will Schuester this week. Yeah, he was there with Emma.
He's fine when he's just with Emma and it's cool like that. Just please don't let him talk.
Emma should do all the talking. Emma's the interesting one out of those two. So then the other thing comes in that whole write-in shit, which I could not stand. Like once again, I know they rigged it, but it's still like, wouldn't everybody be like, I didn't vote for her?
They probably realize it later. But at the time, maybe they could just assume, like, oh, man, this is a funny joke.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess because they had the write-in thing the year before. But I was still... Yeah. And Rachel was looking pretty great in that dress.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. But I was still angry at that. I was just like, I don't care stop focusing on Rachel and Finn all the time. I understand they're supposed to be the main characters, but it's still annoying as shit. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Right? Do some more stuff about the gay characters, or at least the other ones. Like, there was that really cool moment or whatever. I think it was like Sam and Artie were like being all bro-y for a second there.
When?
There was a really quick shot.
I don't like Artie's character at all.
Well, Artie hasn't really done anything.
But when he does do things, he's a jackass.
Yeah,
like,
but
all the time.
I'm not gonna lie though. When there was that scene, and I think when he was directing West Side Story, and he's like, "You guys have to actually have sex in real life to act like a couple."
I hated that.
No, because honestly, that's the kind of thing a wannabe director would totally say.
Oh God, he's such a jerk.
But I can understand that. But there was that like. I don't know, just this episode, like, I was just so bored. Nothing happened. And also, I'm sorry. You do not get T-boned by a fucking truck and you're able to walk like 10, 11 weeks later. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way. She also looks way too fabulous to have gotten hit by a truck.
Yeah, like, that's the only thing that was wrong with her in a wheelchair. Everything's,
yeah.
like, bruised? No.
And there's no consequences. Also, where was the reaction from Artie to that?
Yeah.
Like, cause there was that they set that up.
They set that up.
Where they're like, yeah, man, I have like a wheelchair friend now, and they didn't remember. Like, he should have been like, they should have had a shot of him where he was just like, oh,
kind of sad.
I'm all alone now. Like, no, we don't have that because that would be good.
Oh. All right, what are you gonna give this episode?
This episode, this episode. I'm gonna be really generous. I'm gonna be really, really generous. And give it a C-. This really would have gotten a D, but Blaine's hair pushed it over.
B-.
B-?
B-.
That's really generous.
From you, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, well, that's been Glee as of late. Honestly, in last week's episode, I should downgrade my vote.
What did you give it last week?
I think I gave it a B. I really should have given it a C.
Last week?
Like the whole domestic abuse thing.
Oh, yeah. I kind of liked it, but they ruined that Chicago song that I love.
Yeah. So, and Tina watched, she said like a line, and she was there. I'm going to miss everybody. Yeah, we'd like to know why. So, next week we apparently have 2 hours of Glee.
Really?
Yeah, it's a double header. Okay. Because Fox doesn't have anything to put into their schedule, apparently. Whatever, which means you'll just get double the fun next week. So please comment below. Let us know what you think. I will, as you all know, I respond to every single comment.
No life.
I have a life. Just, I don't necessarily agree with everybody who posts. And I just like telling them that they're wrong sometimes. But they often bring new things to light for me, which is pretty nice. So, is there anything else to say about this episode?
This video's gone on long enough.
It probably has gone on long enough. Why are you still watching this? Why? Let's just go. Okay? Bye.